We've done it! We have done it! We are in Serie A with mighty Messina. Here's how we got there and the tactics involved. Yes, crew, welcome back to the channel. How was it all going? Hope you're well. Now, just right about an hour ago, I was live on Twitch streaming Messina as we tried yet again to get to Serie A from Serie B. We have been stuck in Serie B for season after season, going closer and closer, but we finally did it. And there it is. You can see I'm getting a little bit carried away there, but wow, what a ride it was. 50 plus people watching us go live. We finished the season pretty terribly, but we did get ourselves promoted. It's taken a long time. We've had zero money right the way through. I think we spent £1,000 on a goalkeeper in season 2. Since then we've had nothing, but we've got the mighty Messina to Serie A. So how did we get there? So first up in Serie C, we managed to get up playing this really aggressive 4-3-3. It was a great season. One season in, absolutely blitzed it. Have a little closer look at the tactic here. So there we go in El Tactico Camero, like what I've done there. Nice and close. You can see I've got a double Mazzara coming out from either side there. So they're going to occupy these areas with the wing backs. You can see how aggressive it is. This fella had a big job to do, holding it all together. They're up front. 2 drop-off strikers. So we've got a target forward dropping off there. We've got our deep flying forward dropping off there. And the more advanced man being on the end of things. He's going to be the main goal scorer in the formation. And it worked a treat and it got us up from the lower leagues. Now we used that in Serie B for the first season. And it didn't quite work out. So we had to flip it up. Higher quality of opposition. That tactic didn't work quite as well. This was the final table in Serie C. You can see they're champions by quite a distance there. 6-7 points. Played 38, won 24. Only losing the 5 games, solid at the back, decent going forward, best strike force in the league, and up we go. And it's a good thing as well because look at all the teams in Serie C's playoff equation. You go from 2nd to 10th and you break off into 3 other little playoffs with the other Serie C leagues. It's mental, so to get up straight away as champions was a big ass relief. And there's the first season in Serie B. Look, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all. 6th place finish, going up with no transfers spent. 1k on a goalkeeper. That was the year we spent it. We only lost 8 matches. Again, 75 goals. Top scorers in the league by a country mile. So it's a very potent tactic. But on the flip side, you can see here, as I scroll across, we did concede 56 goals. So you can see it was really aggressive. But if you don't outscore a team, you will lose a match. And we lost 8. And we just missed out. We went in the playoffs and didn't get promoted. We only missed out automatically by 3 points, so with better players that tactic probably could fire. Viewers of these catch-up episodes on YouTube will know that about March time in that second season we did switch it slightly. It was still 3 up front, but it's 1 dropping off. We started using the Stinger Zero tactic that I made available for download and lots of people had success with, and we rounded the season off with that, blitzing some teams. Went into the next season with that tactic. And there it is, there's Stinger Zero, and that's the one we went with. It was scoring a truckload of goals, but we did find that we just didn't have the players for it. A bit like the 4-3-3 Perfect Plex, the Stinger Zero here asks a lot of your players. You need some good quality here and there, because you can see you got a wing back with a Mazzala, that's attacking. You've got a wing back on this side with a box-to-box. He's the man doing most of the work, because your deep line playmaker doesn't want to make too many tackles. And instead of a third striker up there, in effect we do with a shadow striker. He's just starting from a lot deeper. Just the positions there down the side. That Stinger Zero, it's had great success with loads of teams in the game. Loads of people have fed back. It was great. For us, players just weren't quite good enough. And there's a league table. We actually had a slightly worse season than we did the prior season. We finished in 9th place, which in turn was our lowest finish in Serie B. There you see it there. Messina going across there. We won 15. We lost 14 games this time, but didn't score as many goals, and we conceded a similar amount. So all in all, it wasn't a great season, that one. Now the next season we changed it completely. I thought we were too open at the back, so I completely changed it. It ended up with our best finish in the league. You can see that we finished 5th, but unfortunately we failed at the playoffs. That's a theme. That's a theme. This tactic got us there. It was a complete flip from what we had been doing, but man, it worked. Now this tactic got us the best defence we've used so far. It's a back 3. It looks a bit funky, a little bit like a Christmas tree. We had the players for it, a narrow tactic with the 4-3-1-2, the Stinger Zero. So we thought, why not bring in an extra centre back, a couple of wide centre backs, and it really did work pretty well. I was kind of in love with this and I'm thinking about keeping it going forward, but recruitment in the summer meant we changed our plans. But this one, it worked really well. He had defensive wingers here, so they were doing a bit more of an aggressive wing-back job, if you like. Anchorman holding it all together. If they're going to be a bit more further forward, supported by wide centre-backs, I needed someone in there just to stop a few balls coming through. Deep line playmaker was to ping the balls on, and we had the triumphant three up front. I still like the three up front, and this nearly gets us there. Pressing forward, shadow striker, attacking midfielder, getting there as well, but he's on support, so he can back up the deep line playmaker. Team instructions down the side there. You can see it's a custom Stinger Zeo because it's built from that Stinger Zeo tactic, which I like to do. I've got a good tactic I know works, build a new one based on that with little changes here and there. That one did the business. Oh, this season was such a heartbreaker. It finished our best league position ever in this save for Messina. We finished third. We dropped off right at the end. Up until that point, we were in the promotion places. The playoffs went wrong. It was wild on stream. We got knocked out in the playoffs. 65 points, 5 points off the top. But the tactic, the best defensive record yet, certainly did the business. Now here it is. It's based on a tactic video that I released, the no attack needed tactic that we experimented with, basically saying no attack duties on any role. And there you can see as we take a look closer, even up front, the two guys up front, false line support dropping off, target forward dropping off. We've got our inverted wing backs popping in there into the gaps, both of them. We've got half back dropping back, allowing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players to bomb forward and help out the two strikers. Minimal team instructions, quite basic really. Best defensive record, goals weren't a problem, super solid tactic. Just near the end of the season, teams kind of got onto us. They kind of worked us out. The only tweak we did do throughout the season, if we were struggling for a goal, I popped the central midfielder on attack, breaking the philosophy somewhat to burst in between. But we didn't need it much, just very occasionally. Love the tactic. I will revisit it one day. Just missed out on Serie A. Here we go, the promotion tactic. Now this is a bit different because this was 2 years in the making. We built it over 2 years. The first one was last season where we finished 5th. We were ripping it up in the league, I'm telling you. We finished 5th. We scored 72 goals, only conceded 42. We drew 7. We just drew too many matches. We got to the playoff final. It was the most emotional playoff final I did live on stream. It was mad. If we look at the schedule, you can see down the bottom here, Lecce, 2 games, the Serie B playoff final. The first leg was 0-0 in the top corner there, just above my head. And the second leg, away at Lecce, it finished 2-3. My God, we were close. Now, we used the 4-3-3. And we nearly got there. I didn't want to change too much for this season. So I just made little tweaks and we came up with this tactic, which, glory, has got us promoted. We finished in second place. And if it wasn't for an awful late run, you can see there, we didn't win any of our last 4, losing 3. We would have won the league, but I didn't care at that point. As you saw at the start, when I was dancing around like a blooming idiot, we finally got ACR Messina into Serie A for next season. Here's the tactic that did it. There she blows. This is Messina 4-3-3 version 1 inverted. And this one, a bit funky because you've got 2 central midfielders on attack, both bombing forward, both looking for supporting the pressing forward. Inverted winger on one side, really aggressive winger on the other. And the biggest tweak I made from the season where we finished 3rd was I dropped the wing backs to full backs. So we kept more of a rigid defensive line there. We weren't as exposed. There wasn't as many balls coming in these gaps there, which has been a bit of a thing in FM recently. It may look slightly defensive, but when you've got these 2 boys bombing forward and you've got a 30-goal season striker, it obviously isn't. It does the business. Loved it. I mentioned the 30-goal striker, and there he is, Julian Christopherson. You can see there, 30 goals in 39 games. You wouldn't think he's the world's greatest player. We picked him up on Moneyball. If you haven't seen the Moneyball video, go and have a look. But if you look at his history since he's joined us, you can see as he works through our various formations, he's done the business in each formation. 18 goals there, 25 there. The worst season he had was the 14-goal season, which was the no-attack formation, where he dropped off a lot more. Back to form 26, and then last season with the 29 in this tactic. I guess the question now is, what do we do in Serie A? The only goal is to stay up. If you give me 17th place now, I'd snatch your hands off and say yes, please. Because our squad we've got, it's nowhere near good enough. The board have given us £4 million to spend next season. In comparison to what we've had, that feels like 400 million. So we're going to use it wisely. We're going to bulk that squad up and we'll see where we go. It's going to be a struggle. We might have to play 3, 4, 5 at the back with defensive midfielders. But we're going to try our best. If you can join us on Twitch at any point, please do. We're usually streaming 2-3 times a week now. And there'll be an update on this channel soon.